Hello. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. We're going to talk first a little bit about our schedule. So everyone should have this schedule on their desk. Let's take a look at it. One of the things about being a freshman, sophomore in high school is how do you handle the month of May? Because the month of May gets super busy, it gets really stressful. You're gonna have a whole bunch of things that you need to get done. So how do you organize yourself? Well, I have made a schedule for you as you move into your junior, senior year. This is something you're gonna need to do for yourself. My seniors currently, they had to make their own schedule, okay? But this is good practice. You need to do these kind of things for yourself. So let's take a look at this week. I always make myself a schedule about what it is we're doing. But as a teacher, I think it's important for you guys to know. So this week, you can see we're studying for the final. You can also see that there are parts to this final. So part 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. This is another great way to prepare yourself to study. I look at we have functions, exponents, linear, systems, sequences, exponential, quadratic. That gives you an overview of everything you're expected to know. I'll tell you, I look at that list and I start saying to myself, ooh, what do I need the most work in? I don't really remember exponents. I'm going to need to go back and do some exponent problems. That's kind of what that tells me. All right, the following week. Now, we're going to give you guys 2 options because you're in high school now. You get 2 options. So starting on May 10th, we have a practice final, parts 1 and 2 on Tuesday, parts 3 and 4 on Wednesday, parts 5 and 6 Thursday, part 7 on Friday, okay? But we also know that Friday, if you're in any kind of activity, you could be gone. It's regional soccer, we've got softball, we have golf, we have all kinds of clubs and activities that are going to be going on, and you could be gone. So if you know that you are going to be gone on that Friday, you have the option to come in Monday morning ready to go, or Monday afternoon, ready to go. You can start the final here. So then if you are gone Friday, you're not panicking like, oh my gosh, I'm missing a final. Now I have to make things up. You know, like I gotta get this done. So you have the option. Okay, so if you're one that you already know that you're going to be gone, let us know, and we'll just hook you up with that final part 1, part 2. So what does that mean then for the rest of the time? Yeah. So on this one, a lot of third hour tried to convince us that once the final was taken, that there was no miles we wanted to do. And we all said, nice try. There is things that we're going to do. So if you did not finish a final, you kind of have Monday the 17th built into a day where you can finish, but we're going to do some grade checks. We're going to ask you to do a self-evaluation, but then we're not done. So you can see the last 2 weeks of May look like this. And what I've done here, guys, and I'm going to zoom out a little bit, everything that I've highlighted, those are the big things that are going to still impact your grade. The year is not over. I know, you guys, trust me. I know, so they know it's been a long year. We feel it, but it's not over, okay? And so we're going to be looking at chapter 9, but chapter 9, we don't need to test you over it. We need you guys to start applying the math. While taking a final, yes, is important in math. If you continue on in high school, you're going to have to take math finals from here until you're done. If you go to college, you'll have to take finals, but finals are not exactly what math is always about. So we're going to have you guys work on a project. How are you going to apply some of this math? And so your project will be done in class, okay? You're not going to have to take it home and work on it. Everything will be done in class. There are no review previews in here. Review previews are done. They close on the 9th, okay, of this month. So keep working on chapter 8. But there's no review previews. All of this will be done in class. But if I've highlighted it on here, That's what's going to impact your grade. So if you're thinking about, it's May 3rd, I can coast, my grade will be fine. Don't do that, okay? Don't do that. All right, flip this over. And tomorrow is not the last day of school. Whoops, typo. That should be June. It's June 4th, guys, not May 4th. We know that the last week of school, yes, is tough, okay? But here's how we're going to use the last week of school. We're going to give you some rather strange math challenge hours, okay? We might be playing some games in there. We have some activities we're going to do. But here's the thing with the last week of school. If your grade is at an 89.3, Power School is going to call that a B. And you really want that A. Please show up that week of school. You're at a 68.7. Oh, Power School is going to show that as an F. Show up here. Yes, you have to come anyway, but you worry about that.
If I'm like gone for like a free range test, will it like affect my?
No, it will not. Okay, because it's free range. You have, the big thing is the project and the final. These are kind of like those extra credit days, okay? Yeah, we know that there's gonna be a lot of you gone. We know that. That's why we're trying to finish everything in there. Yeah.
What does it mean by challenge hours?
Well, we have different challenges set up for you for each hour. So on Tuesday, when you walk in, we're gonna offer a little bit of a challenge, math in a different way, kind of thing, okay? The last day of school is a half day, which means we'll be at 25-minute classes. And normally the way this works is you guys will have checkout cards, and we fill out your checkout card. Every teacher says goodbye. If you owe fines, you collect the fines, that kind of thing. But I don't know if we're gonna exactly run that. All I know is we'll have 25-minute classes. Okay, that's all I know. Okay, any questions about this? Hang on to this. Okay, yes.
What is the 9.43 project? What is that?
Oh, you're gonna find out. You get to be a part of the UN.
Maybe America.
You get to be country A, B, C, or D. So if you want to be America, you can be America. Okay, absolutely. Please, if you are gone on any of these days, you know what you need to make up. Okay, don't come in. I've already talked to my soccer players, and I said, you're gone for regional soccer. You cannot say, well, I didn't know we were taking a final today. You know we're taking a final, okay? It's right here. Yes, you got it, okay? All right. Hang on to that. Please ask me questions. If you're gonna be gone, let us know. We can help you with what you need to get done. All right, so what are we doing today? Well, you know what we're doing today. We're looking at part 1 and part 2 of the final. So on your desk, you have a whiteboard and a whiteboard marker. You're gonna write everything on your whiteboard. You'll see why here in a minute. Okay, part 1 of the final is all about this. So on your whiteboard, I want you to write down everything you know about that symbol. What is that symbol? What does it mean? How do you say it? I just want to see what you guys remember. What in the world was it? Really nice, guys. Here's some of the things how do you guys write out like what I'm seeing? A lot of you are saying the way you say it is f of x. That's exactly what it is, f of x. The second most popular thing I'm seeing is that f of x replaces y. They mean the same thing. So if you said y equals 2x plus 5, you could also say f of x equals 2x plus 5. Okay? I'm also seeing things like F of X stands for a function. Yes, you all have that word function. Okay? Some of you are saying things like you plug in something here and you get an answer. Yes, this is where we're talking about inputs and outputs. All of those things are fantastic, okay? You guys see, you know more than you think. Look at that. Just a few short months ago, that symbol was really weird to you. Now you're used to it. Okay, part one is all about this guy. So let's take a look at some practice questions. Again, you're gonna write all of your work on your whiteboard, and you'll see why here in a minute. Let's do this. Hey. Let's do this guy. Okay, can you answer this question? Does it matter that it's not X? Does it matter that it's an A there? No. So if you get confused, it's okay. Just do this guy. It could be F of X equals X minus 5. What's F of 0? What do you got? Yes, put your answers up there. Yeah. Okay. What is F of 0? So what is the 0? Yep, and where else? Well, if you look at- Absolutely. So what are you gonna do with that? Trying to find the F. What are you gonna do with that? Ah, well, where, so think about this. I have F of X, and I say find F of 0. What is that 0 implying for X? Right? You're saying when X is 0, what is your Y? Yes, very nice. I like the way you look at that answer. All right, guys, let's talk about this one. This was tough, isn't it? This is not, it's hard to remind ourselves what all this means. All right, what are we doing with the 0? That's the most important thing. What are we doing with the 0?
You're inputting.
Okay, now a lot of you are like, well, but it also goes here. Sure it can, okay, and here's why. So you get F of 0 equals 0 minus 5. But the important thing is what happens on this side. Because what is 0 minus 5? Negative 5. So let's talk about the meaning behind this. Negative 5, we have this guy. This is your answer, okay? Now I want you guys to think about that 0. Spencer used a really good word there. He said you're inputting it. Yes, you're inputting X is 0. So this literally says when X equals 0, what is our output? What? Think of your function machine. What's our output? Negative 5. That is how you interpret that statement. When X is 0, Y is negative 5. It looks weird. I know F of 0 equals negative 5 is a weird looking thing, but remember, it's just a different way of saying X is 0, Y is negative 5. It's a coordinate point. That's what the other classes remind them. That's the coordinate point. Okay. All right. Knowing that, try this guy. What happens when you have H of -9. It's okay, it can be F, it can be H, it can be T, it can be S, it can be a lot of things. Okay. Now we know what we're doing with that guy, so be careful. Careful right there. Oh, I'm seeing a lot of different answers here, guys. So let's talk about this one. Well, we know what to do now with this guy. Oh, it goes right here. So I'm gonna write out two different things here. Oh, H. I forgot about H. Okay. Or what I wrote on the board, are both of those statements the same? No, they're not. Put them both into your calculator exactly the way I have them and see what you get. Okay? Put that in your calculator and see what you get. Oh, so put it on this guy. So put it in parentheses, put -8 into parentheses, or -9 in parentheses, square it and see what you get. Ah. Huh. Interesting. What do we think is going to happen there? So parentheses matter, right? And here's my hint to you. Every time you put a number into a function, make sure you use parentheses. Your calculators are going to do PEMDAS. What's a -9 times a -9?
81.
Okay, then I have 81 minus 1. Boom. That is the answer. 80 is the answer. Oh, I forgot to do the fourth thing with that. Okay, what is going to happen here? Well, what happens here is PEMDAS. PEMDAS says you do exponents first. So 9 times 9 is 81. Then you multiply it by -1. So you get a -81 minus 1 gives you -82. The correct answer to this one is that guy. Remember, whenever you're plugging in, use parentheses. It'll make your life a whole lot easier. All right, here we go. Ooh, try that guy. What are these weird things? What is that? What do we call those guys? Those two ones.
Absolute value.
Absolute value. What do they do?
They make everything positive.
Yes. My hint to you though is do what's inside first. You have to do what's inside first. Think about it being like parentheses and then take the absolute value. You got to simplify it first and then you can do.
Work out the problem, guys. Bring the whiteboard.
No, I forgot to do that.
I'm
Don't
too
put
focused
math,
on this.
because when you get to the final, work. Oh.
You're kind of close. Yeah, try that again. Not quite. Oh, I'm seeing a lot of answers. I'm seeing -9, -8, 14, -16. Well, what are you gonna do with -4? Write it out. Yeah. This is -4 involved. Well, I've got lots. So what is happening with this?
Not yet.
Let it out.
So what's in here?
We're gonna look at it. Okay,
So now.
here we go. Let's really look at this one and dissect what is happening. So I have a -4. In goes -4 right there. Okay, so let's do this. We'll do this. We have -3. What is going on with that -3 on the outside? What is it? What should we finally get some number here? What is the symbol? What is the operation between -3 and that? Is it-
I mean,
Multiplication.
Multiplication. Now, here's what you guys cannot do. I saw a lot of this. When you got all of the pieces right, all of a sudden, there was a magical plus sign right there. No magical plus signs are allowed. If it's plus, they will put plus, okay? The only thing that mathematicians are lazy about writing is that ridiculous multiplication. So this is times. If you need to write that times there, please do so. All right, so then I have the absolute value of -4 plus 1 plus 1. Remember what I said? Do what is inside the parentheses first, i.e. your grouping symbol. You got to do this first. What's a -4 plus 1? Okay, so I have a -3 times the absolute value of a -3 plus 1. Oh, now we're getting somewhere. What's the absolute value of -3? Once you've taken care of that absolute value, it's gone, it's done. Did anything happen with the -3 out front?
No.
Nope, it's outside. It doesn't matter. Okay, what do I have to do next? Yeah,
You have to multiply the -3 and the +3.
there you go. Now what happens? Gotta add. Yeah, so -9 plus 1 equals -8. Don't worry, you guys are gonna get another chance at one of these here in just a little bit. That's a hard one. We're really pushing you guys on this one. Okay. Next one. Yeah. Mhm. Okay, here we go. Next one. Try that one. Take a look and see where is the variable, where. Oh, what is going on with this guy? No magic plus signs. I like where you guys add the plus signs today. What's 3 in the first half? Perfect, yes.
I think it's
Yeah.
there were 2 ends,
Yep.
and then F is the last thing that-
Yep. Perfect. Like it. Excellent. Yep. Excellent, excellent. Well, where did your one go? Yeah, it go right there. Right there. So I have the X and the one, and understanding of what you know. That's how you interpret that. I like it.
Wow.
Well, we're gonna review every piece of the final.
Oh, it's not, but I'll be gone this Friday.
Ruh-roh. You got the list. What are we doing this Friday?
For practice.
Yes, really working on quadratics.
I'm
You're gonna be
gonna go.
okay.
Yeah.
Study for the final. You're gonna study for the final. Yeah, you'll be okay.
I mean, we just need practice.
I know. That's why we're trying to wait until Friday for it. All right, a lot of you are leaving your answer like this, which is fantastic. Just remember, that means when X is 1, Y is 6. Okay, here is,
Wait, don't break this out.
yeah. we're breaking
You have to
it.
write it as a.
All right. This question right here changes a few things. Is this the exact same question that we've been asking these last few? What are we looking for here? It's asking you to find what?
Try to find.
What value of X will make this have an answer of -2? So how do you set this one up? What do you think?
Wouldn't this be working backwards then?
Oh, yes, this is working backwards, yes. So remember, f of x equals -2 means the answer. Thank you, Leah. The answer is -2. That's what that means. It means y is -2. So when we work backwards, like Leah suggested, remember, the answer is -2. I'm looking for x. So if the question says, find x, what should you end up at the end? Right? X equals something. Be careful. It's not asking you to plug in. Remember, it's saying answer.
Why am I not looking at this? I literally have it right in front
I
of me.
know.
Right.
So,
I literally have it right in front of me. Why am I not using it?
yes. Correct. That's it. That is correct. Yes. All right.
Can I do this? Oh, no, I can't.
Not yet. You're working backwards.
Oh,
Oh, you have to get that. I want to see that word.
So if we're trying to get this x by
This is
itself,
how you say so. Be careful. F of x is not equal to 6. X.
the other way.
We're saying
The other way.
f of x is 2.
You want to get that two
So-
by
Yeah, so we're doing x equals -6. That's how you would write that. Nice. Oh my gosh, I love how you guys are even writing down as coordinate points. Remember, when you are working backwards, that's a funny looking 10. I want you guys to think about oh, that's a funky looking. DOS. When you're working forwards, you go parentheses, exponents, multiplying, dividing, adding, subtracting. But when you're doing a working backwards problem, you have to go the opposite way through PEMDAS. That's the way it works. Exactly, that's the, yes, that's the little thing we said. So, you subtract 10, you gotta do your adding and subtracting first, you get -12 equals 2. You divide by 2, and you get x equals -6. Oh, we need to get you in like that. Yeah, you let me know. Okay, x equals -6. All right, try another one in the same family. Same family of problems. How do you work backwards? That is the hard question. It's not easy. Yep. I gotta undo that -23, so I add 23 to both sides and I get x squared. I get to here, x squared equals 25. What are you doing mathematically to get x equals 5 at this point? How do you undo a square? Square root. That's the official math lingo. But a lot of you get to this point, you're like, oh, I know 5 times 5 gives me 25. Got it. Okay. All right. If you can do these type of problems, this is what part 1 of the final looks like. Can you find f of -2? Can you find f of 7? Can you find x when f of x equals 2? Can you work forward and backward? Okay, that's what part 1 is. So let's do part 2 now, everybody's favorite. Woo, what do you guys remember about exponents? What do we got about exponents? Okay, I'm gonna work a couple of these with you. Does the 3 and the -3, are those exponents?
No.
No, they're not exponents, they're just numbers. So you're gonna see multiplication with all of this. My number one suggestion to you is to rewrite these so they make sense to you. I'm gonna put all of my numbers together. I'm gonna put all of my x's together. I'm gonna put all of my y's together. Then I'm gonna solve. Okay? Then I'm going to go ahead and simplify, not solve, sorry, I'm gonna simplify that. So be careful, it's more than that. That is correct, Leah. It really helps if you struggle with exponents, organize them, put things together, expand.
Zero together or just.
So what is, so yeah, what is anything to do with 0 power? What is it become?
Zero? No, regular, same thing.
No, remember?
Just the
Okay.
zeros.
Let me remind you.
Just kidding, I remember.
Okay, but I have a feeling not everybody remembers. You would multiply that, right? Okay. Let's talk about that x to the 0, because I want to make sure everybody remembers what it is. X to the first is x squared is x times x cubed is x times x times x. Now I'm going to make this a table, and I want you guys to think about your patterns. What are you doing to get to the next thing in the pattern?
Multiplying another.
Multiplying another x. So this would become x times x times x. We are multiplying by x's here. So what happens if I want to take one step back at the table? What would I do?
You divide by x.
What's x divided by x?
What?
Nothing.
Over 1, x divided by x. So think about x divided by x. It's 1. What's here? Yeah. Remember, anything to the 0 power is 1. Anything to the 0 power. So this becomes 1. It just becomes the number 1. So this becomes 9. X times 1 is just x, and y cubed just stays y cubed. Now you can write it either way with the times in the middle. I will tell you right now that I'll tell you right now, don't put in plus signs. There's some magic plus signs. It's negative. Okay. This was all multiplication. Okay. All right. Try this guy. Oh no. Oh my gosh. Let's talk about this. What does that 2 mean? What's the meaning of it? It's going to square everything in parentheses, meaning I have 2 of everything that's inside those parentheses. So I have a u times a v cubed times another u times v cubed. That's what that square means. It means I have 2 of those u's and 2 of those v squared. So I go like a v cubed. Then I have 2 times u times v to the -1. Uh-oh. V to the -1. I circle all of my negative exponents because what does a negative exponent do? What does it do? It does that. It makes it a fraction. Remember, negative exponent doesn't mean the negative number. It means it's in the wrong place. Okay? So I circle it, and now I do my trick. I put all my numbers together. I just have a 2. Then I come over here and I have 1, 2, 3 u's. So I'm going to put my u's together. U's together. Then I have 1, 2 v cubed. V cubed, v cubed, and I know I've got 1 v there. All right, go from there. Yep, one of them cancels out. You can keep going from here. I'm gonna let you think about that guy. Yes, you're right. Keep going. Keep going. Try again. What we get on the red. So, think about here. What is u times u times? So you have 2 times u. So you have this, you have your 2, and you told me you have u times u times u is u, correct?
Yes.
So let's just do this, guys. What is v2 times v2? How many units do that? If you have 3 here and another 3 here, how many here? Yep, and I have 1 here, okay? So, yes, one cancels out. So, you got it, with their 2 and your u. Okay, let's take a look at this guy. Oh, so close, that's better. Oh, I love how some of you are expanding this. So we get 2 u cubed v to the 6th all over v. Done, right? Correct
No.
answer. Why not?
Got it.
Yeah.
I mean, mine.
If I have 6 v's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1 here, what happens to v divided by v? What does that become?
They cancel each other.
Yeah, you get a 1. V divided by v is 1. Reduces to 1, so I'm left with just 5 of them. Okay? All right. What we're going to do for the next 14 or so minutes, is that correct? 14 minutes? Every time we do one of these in class, we will give you between 10 and 15 minutes to work on a paper pencil version. But there is a catch with this paper pencil version. This is your ticket to the final. You have to have this done before you take the final. So that means use your time wisely in class. We're just giving you more practice. The best way to study for a math test is to practice. Okay? Yes, you gotta show your work. All work. Yeah. All work. Okay. Did you? Okay. So what we'll do is yeah, use our time wisely, guys. This is your time to work on this. You are so people. No, that negative just stays on its own. Okay, and then take the absolute value. Then you can multiply by that negative or not.
Yeah, I can do
They
that.
need to
Yeah.
be working on it.
Yeah. So what we could do is we could send that schedule
Okay,
to them and say that during this time,
yeah.
Oh.
so. Choose the whole. Where is she? So same conversation with her as
That is correct. it's usually my men's now, I just have to stand next to people and they're like, got it. That's usually what it is. So.
Well, wait, what's before? There's no negative total divided by three. It's just negative. So what's 64 divided by three? You're taking a negative 21 divided by three. So negative 21 divided by three. There you go.
Yeah.
What is the equation? What is question E? What is that? What is question E?
Put 8, -8.
Okay.
You have a whole week to get that portion done.
You'll be okay. Oh, I really fine. Yeah, keep going, just keep moving. Be careful that you pen loss first. The pen loss, remember, you have to do excellence first, so it's -2. Then you multiply by 3. So you choose and 4 first. This is what it's first. Yeah, that looks fantastic. Oh, that was way more than 4 minutes. Yeah. So, you know, some time is good. Okay. Be careful here. So this is the one, notice the difference. See how this one, you just do exactly what you plug in line.
Keep going.
This one says find X. Okay, so this one is saying, I need to know.
I would
You're right.
this
And
one,
when you write it
I
out
would
here,
say probably
it's just this. You don't need the F of X. It's just
it's B
10
there.
equals 3x plus
There's
7.
and
Now you can do what you're
A.
doing. Okay, once you've done, once you see that F of X equals something, it goes away.
So
1, 9, 5, yeah, you got it.
remember your orders of
That's
operation,
all good.
okay?
Nicely
Gem
done.
dots for both of them.
Okay, how are we doing? Good. Okay, what questions? do you have? Yeah, so, and this will be 3x. And then, what do you do to get to the 1? You're just dividing yourself. You're right, x is 1. You weren't wrong. Nope, you're good. It's right here. So you have this idea, 3 equals 3x. When you divide that by 3, that goes to 1, that goes to 1. You have it right. All of your work is right. I just didn't want you to.
Yeah.
That 10 just becomes 10. You don't have to worry about that. So this one will be the exact same thing. You know that f of x is -6, so that whole thing goes to -6. Yeah, very nice.
So do I change that from opposite?
You add it first. Okay, when you get it to one number, then you can. Okay, I'll sit down.
So you're gonna find a carrot.
Oh, yeah.
Square root of 366.
So right here, that is correct. But I want you to think about what this is. You have x squared equals 106. This is squared. So the way you undo square is the square root, but you can think about what this means, what number from that square root? That's like, yeah, so it's just 6. Okay, the official way to do that, and you're gonna see this a lot next year, Omar, is you're taking negative of both sides. But we don't, because the power of it counts that out. If you're left with x equals the square root of 36 is 6. But in algebra 1, if you can see this, and you can just say, oh yeah, that's 6.
Yeah.
But you don't divide it, because I'm only multiplying undoes the okay. Yes, and they're multiplying it by 3.
That's fine.
That's right.
Okay, just on this.
Yeah. This is go.
I'm gonna kill this.
There you go. When you take 2 to the 4, so 2 times 2 is 4, yeah.
This is coming back. I got it, but
Yeah.
it's just coming back.
Yeah, you got it right.
Like,
It's okay.
that's fucking cool. Cause it doesn't cancel like wide. Yeah. It's too much work.
You just read time.
Numbers and letters and numbers. Mix it up. Are we supposed to turn this in?
Oh, that's homework.
Homework?
Remember, that is,
Good at that.
if you did not finish this review, then you cannot take the test on Monday. So, yes, it's gonna be homework. You may not have review previews, but you have work to do.
Yeah. We will give you time in class, but if you don't finish it, you've got to finish it. If you have an LSC or a study hall, okay? Make sure you take these and finish it in that place. You can.
And also, if you turn it in and all you have is an answer, it's going to have to be done. You need to show your work, but you do not get credit.
This is negative 4. And you can't. This is, you have to make the excellent first. You have to do this and then that. Then I put my wife
No, I divided these, and then I did it for.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you had to divide first.
No. Grouping symbol first.
Yeah. Have a fantastic Monday, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. It's okay. Work on it. Jacob, I want you to look outside. What is it doing?
It's snowing.
Cover up those